So in this video I got 4 replays in the M42 Duster, which is a World War II Tier 7 American light tank. I think overall this tank is very strong. I don't think it breaks the matchmaker, but I think it is probably one of the strongest light tanks in Tier 7. I think it's not as bad as the T249 Vigilante at Tier 10. It's not that bad. There are some downsides to it, but I think it is still very strong. I've played it enough to one mark it. I think that's my aim now with premium tanks in particular, to try and get just the 1 mark on it. Got that, and I've had these 4 games. I do find this tank it is good. As I said, it's got quite good camouflage, got good view range, and the mobility in the straight line is not too bad. It's just a bit sluggish getting there. And already, as you can see, scouted out the enemy M42. Dreadnought ends up taking it down. And we've got this Panzer V4, which I am trying to put shots into the side. As you can see, gun depression is one of the big downside of this tank. Gun elevation's nice, because obviously it's supposed to be a self-propelled anti-aircraft gun. I do find that you do need to use ridges completely differently. You almost need to be on the other side of a ridge so your gun points up. So when there's sort of 2 hills, I try and do this, sort of aim down and try and get the guns up rather than try and get them down. So yeah, you see a lot of times trying to get the be on a down slope to get the gun up. Just trying to push this hill, see what I can spot out here. There's a TD down there. It's I think it's going to spin round to aim at me. I am hoping that my allies will push, so I can either YOLO in and shoot it in the side, or my allies can take it down. But as you can see, no chance I can really get gun down on that tank. And also with the penetration at being 120 on the AP, there's no real guarantee that you'll do any damage. The T249 that has sort of I'm not too sure what they class it is, but even if you don't penetrate, you do sort of a tiny amount of damage. But the amount of rounds that thing fires out, it soon racks up. But this doesn't have that. It does have HE rounds, which I would be tempted to maybe suggest that maybe take 1 or 2 clips of HE. I don't. I think it's been fine without. But in situations earlier with that IS being hold down, would have been nice just to load the HE, just do a bit of splash damage to it. But yeah, I find I haven't ever used the HE out of this, so I wouldn't recommend that too highly. Just on Erlenberg, making the cross down the bottom. I don't usually make that cross. I usually try and go to sort of win and secure our side first, but due to this tank's lack of gun depression, there's no way I'm going to be able to play in those hills over there. So I went this way, thinking I'll get into the position I was. Hopefully I can get the gun down and or up, I should say. And yeah, managed to get that. Those tanks out of the game. Having a good push on this side, seeing what I can spot out, and the artillery. So artillery is really big target for this tank, as you can see. We are getting all our shots in. Average damage for the AP shells is 35, which is it's quite a nice little clip, and particularly that the reload is sort of less than 2 seconds. I think it can get the damage out really quick. Shell velocity is a little bit slow. I do also think that the penetration drop off. You could use Iron Mace, I think is the crew perk, to make sure that the penetration doesn't drop off too much over distance. That could be one worth taking, but I didn't use it, so it's not really needed. So we're up to 1,000 300 spotting damage and 1,400 damage. Try and just get shot into the back of that tank. Just trying to see where the next victim is really. This tank it is sort of an end game tank. At the start, you just need to get into a good position, get some spots, get a little bit of damage out as best you can. Try and target the enemy light tanks, and then in this situation where there are no enemy light tanks, it's kind of a case of just going in, being a bit of an assassin really. As you can see there, just going in on the Tiger. He did get a shot in. I think I didn't really bother to move for that. Get a nice shot there in between the buildings. And yeah, just with that Tiger, just took the shot. I was concerned if I had moved, it was probably going to hit me anyway. But got the back of the IS, get a nice shot, nice little clip in there. We've got 2 enemy tanks alive, 2 TDs. I'm assuming they're up along sort of the AB line somewhere. Not seem to be spotted at the moment. And yeah, just moving in now. Someone's pinging over there. I assume they've been shot from that direction. And there they are. Get a really good shot in, or the enemy tank gets a really good shot into me. And yeah, we shut it down. Those sort of light German tank destroyers, they're a really nice target to get out of the game as well. They've got a big damaging gun. Nashorn as well. I think that was the second kill it stole off me that game, but anyway, we get MVP. Just under 2,900 damage, 8 kills, 2,100 spotted, and yeah, ace tanker on that game. This was during the first week it got released. I'm assuming that the ace tanker requirement has probably gone up, because I think in the first week they set it to the highest. It would have been the highest tier 7 light tank that it would have been set to. I think that's the same with the Marks of Excellence as well, so I assume both have gone up. Second game, we're on Mali. I'm thinking of making a cross over into sort of the D6 area and spotting over there, but I'm thinking with the lack of gun depression, I'm not too sure, but going for it anyway. As I said, this tank is okay in a straight line. It's just a little bit sluggish. Get in there, and as you can see, this is when it can be a bit. You can just sort of auto lock and just fire, and some will hit, and some will miss. Getting the side of this light tank here, but yeah, it is a bit of a. It's a strange tank, as I said. I do think it's good. I don't think it's broken the matchmaker, but I just think it's a difficult one to place really, because it is quite high skill because it's low penetration, but then at the same point it is low skill as well, because you've got such a big fast firing clip that you can just spray and hope some go in. But this T-34, I think he's thinking of YOLOing. He's backed off for the time being. But yeah, just trying to get some spotting damage on this one. Just trying to actually use this angle here. We've managed to get the gun, I suppose, up enough to get shots into this T-34. We set him on fire and get the kill. I think we could also use perk-wise is Deadeye to do a bit more damage. I don't have that, but I suppose now is probably a good time to go through the what I've got it spec'd out at. So yeah, as I said, 35 damage, 120 pen. I don't use Iron Mace or Deadeye, although I think both perks would be useful on this tank. 920 hit points. Nice big chunk of hit points, although it does seem to get lose them pretty quick. But it's got with my specs, it's got 499 meters view range and 275 concealment, and the equipment I use, optics, camo net, and the gun stabilizer. Gun stabilizer the gun can be all over the place sometimes, so it is good to get that as accurate as it can do. Unfortunately, we're starting to lose crew here, but this is the thing that you can do on this. You can quite easily destroy buildings like that and get tanks that are hiding behind them, but yeah, that's the equipment and the crew that I've got in this one. I've got 6th Sense, Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, which I think are the 4 core basic perks. Situation Awareness, Camo Expertise, again the 2 perks, basic perks for World War II. And then Run and Gun Snapshot. Again, you could say they are almost required. And then my last one is Muffled Shot, just so I can just try and stay as hidden as best I can when I'm firing. Although the one thing to be aware of, and also when you're fighting one of these, is when they're firing, as they say, tracers work both ways. So you can really see, sometimes you'll see a bush that's just spewing out a tracer fire. So it is pretty obvious, and it's just something to be aware of when you're playing this tank, that it is very noticeable where you're firing from. It can be a bit, you just need to relocate. Make sure that no one can or feels that they can blind fire you. But in this game, my insistence on using just the basic med pack is coming home to bite me. Lost the driver, healed him, lost the driver again, and the commander this time as well. So yeah, not ideal. But we're just trying to get as best we can up. We've got no view range now. We just have to just go with the crowd. Just trying to free aim these shots, missing all of them. So then what you can do in these situations is just lead it a lot, and then just put up a wall of fire, and the enemy tank will just go into one of them, as you saw. You just fire, and they'll just drive into it. If you are struggling with leading it, it can be a bit tricky, just especially when you move the turret and it just blooms out a little bit more. The fire can just go everywhere. So I find sometimes it's just easier just to pick a spot, unload the clip, and by the time the tank drives through it, it's going to go through sort of 2 or 3 of them anyway. And as you saw, we got a good kill there. So we were just a bit too slow on the reload there, but we get MVP again. Just 2,600 damage, first class on that one. I don't think I really got enough kills to get it into the ace, but yeah, 5 kills on that one. And yeah, so they were 2 really good games in the M42. I think I've clicked well with this tank. I seem to do well in it. I know that some people are saying it's not particularly good. I think it is strong. Maybe it's just the way I use it. It is a strange combination between a passive scout and an active scout. It is a bit big. It is a bit cumbersome. A bit sluggish on the acceleration. But once you do get up to speed, it's pretty fast. And obviously, if you can get in amongst an isolated enemy tank, you can just circle it, and the reload is so long. So on this map is Progrovka, ideal for light tanks. There's only 1 artillery in the game, and I think I've only had prog maybe once or twice only on with this tank, and this was one of the times. I think it's a good game. We are getting sort of we've spotted 5 enemy tanks, which is probably what I want to be doing as a light tank. Do seem to be lit all the time. As I said, the enemy light tanks are doing their job well. And as I said during the first replay, as soon as you see any enemy light tanks, you do want to get them out of the game. As soon as that happens, you've almost got free reign. But obviously on the flip side is, as soon as the light tanks go, the list of viable targets to penetrate obviously goes down as well. So it's a strange one where if you want to do damage, you're going to have to go after the light tanks. Once the light tanks go, you're going to have to rely on your view range, manoeuvring around the map to get into nice firing positions for sort of the heavies and any of the TDs or mediums that are left. So yeah, I think I can see why people might not necessarily like this tank. There's no way of just biting the bullet and just loading up premium rounds or anything like that, or just hiding in the bush somewhere. The camo's good, but it's not the best. So at the moment, I'm just kind of circling around. I don't really want to push. As I said, it's a big target. You don't have too many hit points, and I just want my team to just to fire and hit the enemy tanks. They're not really doing it. It's a bit concerning when this happens. I'm getting a bit nervous about how they're playing at the back. They seem to be more retreating, trying to not be the first, the one at the front. I was tempted just to leave them to it, really. Unfortunately, when they sort of play like this, it is obvious that they're probably not the most confident. And as I said, look, there's another TD retreating up behind that other TD that's fallen back. But now we've got the enemy M42, and we just need to just put a load of shots in. We're getting more fire coming in from the other M42. As you can see, I think he was just auto-aiming on me. So as long as you drive perpendicular to them, if they're auto-aiming, they shouldn't hit unless you're right up close. But at this point, I don't have any confidence in the people who have camped sort of the B2, A3 area. I'm going the long way around, just if there's anything that, if one of the light tanks decides to pop over the middle break in between those trains, that they don't spot me going this way. I don't really want to be spotted. I don't really go this way. I've completely forgotten where the drop downs are for this, not to get any damage, but just trying to relocate. The enemy team have pushed the 1-2 line very strongly. Those light tanks have done a good job, and as I said, unfortunately you do need to get rid of the light tanks when you're in this. Otherwise you're in this position where there's not really a lot you can do against them, because as soon as you take sort of 1 or 2 hits, all of a sudden if anyone's got sort of 300-400 alpha gun, you're in big trouble. But we are losing the tanks quite quickly, and this is why I was a bit hesitant to come this way. Can't really get the gun down. We're losing tanks. I'm not too sure how that one got destroyed, but finally got one of the light tanks out. We spotted the artillery, and this is what you can do when you're in a good position like this, and you've got the artillery in particular. It is good, but as you can see, even bouncing off an artillery, it is quite a long range, but still. 2 kills. We're 3 tanks down. It looks like the enemy team have a couple of platoons still fairly intact. Just going in on this Inferno now. Very armoured tank, for this tank at least. But the hole in the side of the hull should be penetrable for the M42. As you can see, I'm trying to target the lights as best I can, using the free aim. It seems to be working. I'm getting a couple of hits in here and there, but yeah, as I said, 35 damage per shot. If you hit 1 or 2 rounds, it's not major damage that you're putting into the enemy team. I try and go on the cap just to try and bait some to break off and come this way with me. I am concerned that my light and medium have essentially just stayed on the hill. But yeah, just trying to get these auto lock shots in. This is the low skill part of this. It was a stirring mill. Auto lock, just fire and hopefully some will go up and go in through the top of it. Got this TD here. Hopefully this will go in. It has with 3-2. We are losing. Up to 4 kills. Just under 3,000 damage, 1,400 assisted. I'm thinking I should have enough time to get to the cap. I was a bit concerned I wouldn't be able to actually reset the cap, but you can just aim at the tracks, just do a bit of track damage, and that will reset the timer. But as I said in the very first replay, I think maybe potentially having 2 or 3 clips of the HE shells would be beneficial. But yeah, it's just me versus 3 now. We've got this M42 again, just free aiming. It looks like he's coming in quite close. I suspect he was auto locking. And then this tank here, got to go back for the reset. And I think I'm making a bit of a mistake here. I shouldn't have bothered to try and shoot him. I'm hoping I can just hit the underside, and I was 1 shell too short. Would have worked if only one of those that had bounced when he was coming over actually went in. But that's the problem. We still get the ace game though with that. But yeah, that's the problem with the lack of penetration on this. Even sort of lower plates, any sort of real angle, and it's not going to go through. This is the last replay on the Azure Coast. It's a good map, I do like it. Not particularly for this tank though. Again, lots of hills, difficult to get the gun down. But we're going to get going and try and do best we can. Again, do what I always try and do. Get in a good spotting location to start the game. See who I can spot out, see if I can get any easy damage into people's sides whilst they're making crossing. And then obviously try and aim for the light tanks, hunt them down, try and get them out of the game as best I can, and then sort of revert to, at that stage, hopefully some sort of passive scout again. No one seems to be making this cross. I'm getting spied. I'm wondering what that is. It's tier 5 Stug. He's put 1 shot into me. It looked like he either missed, or I think it bounced the first one actually. Yeah, teammate took him down, but now we've got sort of mediums, and artillery's looking this way as well, so hopefully we don't get artillered. Already a couple of tanks up, which is promising for the game, but just trying to go in on this T-34 here. And this is the problem with this tank really. I do think it is a tier 7 tank. I think there's no way you could realistically buff this or have it at tier 8 really. But on the flip side, being a tier 7, I don't really think it should see tier 5s. I think it does need to have that negative matchmaking, which I think at tier 7 the Lycan does as well. The Lycan can't see for tier 5. I think this tank probably could have had that as well, to be honest. Try and get some pot shots into the, I think it was some KV-85. We got an OI here, no chance with that. So yeah, just trying to keep them spotted. See if I can spot anyone that's up on the ridge up here. There was a TD up here. I'm just seeing if I can spot him again. I'm not being detected there, so it's not as though someone's looking at me. And yeah, just trying to get into the lower plate, get another kill on another stug, and yeah, kill number 2, just over 1,000 damage. Looks like we've got the Hellcat up there, but I decided this tank I can just YOLO in for the 3rd kill, and yeah, we're just going to go and get this Hellcat. At this point, 9-8, you know, we're 1 tank up. Looks good. We've pushed the beach quite well, which is, after pushing the beach on Azure Coast, the match tends to go well after that. But yeah, we get lucky with the Hellcat that we set on fire. We get lucky with the artillery that he misses, and now we're just on his side and back here, and nothing really that the artillery can realistically do there. I did notice that some of my shells went actually through him, so I decided to aim that up, make sure they didn't pass through any gaps in the model. So after that push, I would say most of the time in this sort of position we would come out with the win. We've got another light tank here, and yeah, he's tracked. Yeah, no chance for that enemy M42. As you can see, his hit points went pretty quickly, and it wasn't just me shooting him either. So yeah, not too bad for the 6th kill. 3 out of 4 enemy tanks are heavy tanks, which is a bit concerning for me, because I honestly don't think, particularly with that Minuteman, I don't think I'll be able to pin him anywhere. So I'm just trying to get some sort of elevation just to help try and shoot down onto them. We get a good fire there, and yeah, I could have fired, but I just let the fire do the damage, and see it pick up the 7th kill. So the aiming circle is showing red, but on the side of the Minuteman there's a lot of spaced armour, so I think it's just showing red that I could go through the spaced armour, and yeah, not actually getting through to the actual hit point box in the actual through the hole. So I've decided that Minuteman, if it's just me and him, there's nothing I can do. I'm just trying to help my allies out best I can. There is a sort of Panzer IV which I should be able to take out. Just trying to help my allies best I can. Get that kill. So Bradley Waters, which is good. This tank, I do seem to be able to rack up kills quite nicely with it, but as I said, it's more of a late game sort of assassin, go in and take them down. The Black Prince takes out that light tank, but got the problem now that we've got just the Minuteman and the Black Prince that is hardly any hit points, so I'm just trying to get distance in between me and the Minuteman. It's a shame that it wasn't sort of a standard battle or the encounter game mode, but it is what it is. So yeah, just trying to get distance. Firstly, the distance will allow me to sneak up on him without him being able to spot me. Downside is, of course, I don't really think this map really allows for that sort of play style. And also, the further I go, the more penetration drop off that I have. So I've decided I'm just going to go in. I'm going to just try and help the Black Prince as best I can. I'm getting a little bit of yeah, absolutely nothing into that tank. I couldn't remember if I went in through the engine deck or not, but yeah, no chance going through the Minuteman. But we get second on a loss. Just the first class with Bradley Waters, so obviously if we got the win, would have been another ace. But yeah, 3,600 damage. You just need to be careful who you aim at, and try and take light tanks out. So yeah, that's the M42. I think it is a good tank. You need to play. You need to start the game as a passive, get into a good position, get some spotting out. You then need to be an active scout, hunting down the enemy light tanks, and then you need to go, once the enemy light tanks are out, then you need to revert to being a passive to allow your teammates to deal with the tanks that you can't penetrate. So yeah, bit of an odd play style, but I quite like it. Penetration is the main downside, and the lack of gun depression, but other than that, I think it's a good tank, and yeah, as I said, I can seem to rack up kills with it quite easily. So yeah, if you've got it, definitely worth playing it. I think it is fun. If you haven't enjoyed it, try and change your play style with it, and hopefully it'll be better for you. So thanks for watching.